Good morning, it's Heather signing. As you know, this is the first Sunday in Lent. Lent is the 40 days between Ash Wednesday and Easter Sunday. And if you're anything like me, you might associate it with giving something up. In the past, I've tried giving up chocolate, I've tried giving up ice cream. A, it never went so well. B, by giving those things up, I never felt closer to God. I just felt deprived. And C, I feel like we've already given up a tremendous amount this year. Thankfully, stewardship is asking us to think about Lent differently this year. Instead of a giving up, they want us to think of it more as a giving out, a seeking of a deeper relationship with God through generosity, giving out of ourselves into the world to help create the whole beloved community that in turn can help create a more compassionate, just, and peaceful world. And really, that's what we're called to do. Thankfully, there are so many ways in which we can be generous, because if everybody was generous in the same way, we wouldn't get very far. So in the coming weeks, some of the incredible members of our community are going to talk about how they're generous with the self, their family, neighbors, the church, the earth, and humanity in general, but in particular people with whom we might not agree or might have vastly different life experiences, because we are called to be compassionate to everyone. Now, the funny thing is that I am going to talk about generosity towards oneself. And that's funny because I am not generous with myself. I engage in negative self-talk a lot. I will tell other people that they are beloved children of God, worthy of grace, just by the fact of their own being, their own existence. But then if I refer to myself as kind of the village idiot, that's just making me a hypocrite, and it certainly doesn't bring me closer to God or make me a conduit for God's love. So if I were to be generous with myself, I would need to dial back that negative self-talk and find some ways to be kinder to myself. You might have different things going on in your life. You might have, I don't know, money problems. You might have pandemic stress. You might just be worn so thin and feel like a rundown battery. So you might feel like this. You might feel closed and tight. Now, God's love really isn't going to get through here. You got to create the opening. You have to be generous with yourself so that you can be a conduit for the love of God. You could create a budget. You could go for a walk. You could bake something. You could sit and read a book. You could do whatever makes you feel cared for by your own self. Self-care is not selfish. Because until you become more open, you can't be a conduit for the love of God. See, love can get through here. It's not getting through here. So my challenge to you in the next few weeks is to be generous with yourself. Be kind. Go easy on yourself. Don't berate yourself. Treat yourself like a friend, you know?